My government will support the Minerals Commission and key stakeholders to formalize the artisanal and small-scale gold mining sector with the objective of ensuring that activities of the entire value chain are sustainably and responsibly done, so that most of the gold produced by this sector can be sold to the Bank of Ghana and be eligible to be part of Ghana's gold reserves at the central bank. In line with this, we will license all miners doing responsible mining. District mining committees, including the chiefs, will provide initial temporary licenses to the miners. As long as miners mine within the limits of their licenses, that is, no mining in river bodies and so on, as long as they mine within the limits of their licenses, there will no longer be any seizure or burning of excavators. I will fully decentralize the Minerals Commission as well as the Environmental Protection Agency and ensure that they are all present in mining districts. Every Ghanaian small-scale mining operator will register under the Ghana Small-Scale Miners Association with their Ghana card. We will, in collaboration with the large mining companies, convert abandoned shafts into community mining schemes, and we will open more and new community mining schemes. District mining committees would be responsible for reclamation and replanting, and we will institute a pension scheme for small-scale miners like we have done for cocoa farmers. We will introduce vocational and skills training on sustainable mining for small-scale miners in the curriculum of TVET institutions and provide equipment to government authorities in the mining communities to undertake reclamation of land. Ladies and gentlemen, we will also set up a state-of-the-art common user gold processing units in mining districts in collaboration with the private sector. My government will also conduct an audit of all concessions with various licenses and new applications. This will allow government to know licenses that have expired and non-compliance with licensing conditions. To encourage exploration, I will abolish the VAT on exploration services, like I say, to encourage more exploration. We will establish, in collaboration with the private sector, a minerals development bank. Just as we have a Greek development bank for agriculture, we will have a minerals development bank for the miners. To support the industry, we will establish through the private sector the London Bullion Market Association certified gold refinery in Ghana within 4 years. And all responsibly mined small-scale gold produced will be sold to the central bank, the PMMC, or the Minerals and Income Investment Fund, MIF, and will be required. All the small-scale gold mined in Ghana, there will be a requirement that they are refined before they leave Ghana. We'll have to refine them before. Ladies and gentlemen, the increase in Ghana's gold reserves to support the city. Ladies and gentlemen, a major factor influencing macroeconomic stability is the consistent depreciation of the cedi against foreign currencies. This is usually caused by pressure on our foreign exchange reserves. Appreciably, increasing our reserves of gold at the central bank, combined with prudent fiscal policy, is therefore one of the surest ways to keep the exchange rate stable. Two policies that helped to rescue the economy from catastrophe in the recent crisis were the Bank of Ghana's Gold Purchase Program and the Gold for Oil Program. The Domestic Gold Purchase Program of the Bank of Ghana is a program where the central bank boosts its foreign exchange reserves by buying locally produced gold with cedis. Before this program, the total of Ghana's gold reserves since independence was 8.7 tons. That's the total we held since independence. This compares to 3,352 tons for Germany, 2,814 tons for the IMF, 2,451 tons for Italy, and 8,133 tons for the United States. It did not make sense to me that Ghana, the largest gold producer in Africa, will have some of the slowest holdings of gold reserves in the world. So I proposed to the Bank of Ghana to start a gold purchase program. The Gold for Oil program, on the other hand, allows the payment for oil imports with gold. So importers provide cedis which the Bank of Ghana uses to buy gold and pays the suppliers of the oil. This reduces the pressure on Ghana's foreign exchange reserves and stabilizes the rate. Ladies and gentlemen, it will interest you to know that since this program started, the Bank of Ghana has purchased 26 tons of gold at $1.73 billion. The government of Ghana's Gold for Oil program, which also started in late December 2022, has purchased 16 tons of gold at $1.06 billion. That has been for the import of petroleum products. Together, the gold for reserves and the gold for oil programs have an almost equivalent to the $3 billion loan that we have obtained from the IMF, which is going to be disbursed over 3 years. What is clear to me is that if we had started implementing these policies, say 20 years ago, Ghana would be in a very different situation today. But it is never too late, and we have started, and we will continue. Ladies and gentlemen, given the large amount of gold reserves Ghana has, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Ghana has 7 large gold belts stretching from Axim and Winneba to Nangodi and Laura. According to the Geological Survey Department, the belts cover an area of 43,000 square kilometers, with about 50%, that is 21,000 kilometers, not yet explored. The conservative estimate is that the potential quantum of gold in these unexplored belts is around 5 billion ounces. This has a market value today of $10 trillion US. My government will engage exploration experts from the universities and the geological institutions to assist in exploring our 7 gold belts. However, if even only 5% of the 5 billion ounce estimate materialize, only 5%, it will be a game changer for Ghana. My government will provide the Geological Survey Department and our universities with resources annually to undertake a mapping of areas where we have gold reserves. As a matter of policy, we will legislate that concessions in areas with proven gold reserves that we'll find, 100% of those concessions will be given to Ghanaians and for operations. We can easily raise the capital required and hire the expertise once the gold reserves are proven. Our policy will be to build Ghana's gold reserves appreciably to reach a point where we have sufficient gold reserves to keep our external payments position sustainably strong. This, along with a supportive fiscal discipline, will provide long-term stability for the exchange rate of the city, and at the same time reduce our dependence on the Eurobond market for finance. I believe that the maximization of the benefits from our natural resources will help create jobs, improve livelihoods, and also improve the conditions of service of Ghanaian workers. I now come to industrialization. Ladies and gentlemen, I will continue our policy of industrialization in areas such as agro-processing, cocoa, cashew, shea nuts, and so on. Salt, gold, lithium, refining, and manufacture of batteries and automobile assembly and manufacture. And also empower the local business sector, especially startups and SMEs, to drive investment and growth in Ghana, thus significantly boosting job creation. We must also protect local industry from smuggled imports that evade import duties. Ladies and gentlemen, special economic zones will be created. These are the free zones in collaboration with the private sector at Ghana's major border towns, such as Aflao, Paga, Elubo, Sankase, and Tatale, to enhance economic activity, increase exports, and reduce smuggling and create jobs. Tema Port will be fully automated and benchmarked to be as efficient as some of the best ports in the world, like Hong Kong, Singapore, and Dubai. Also, there will be a new policy of aligning import duties and charges at the Tema Port to the import duties and charges at the Lomé Port in Togo. Togo Lomé is our main competitor. This will reduce smuggling and tax avoidance. Also, for spare parts importers, duties will be at a flat rate per container, 20 foot or 40 foot, and that is what we are going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now move to dealing with corruption. I entered politics to serve the nation. My passion is solving problems. My passion is helping the poor, the vulnerable, and the disadvantaged in society. Accumulation of wealth is not and has never been a passion or an ambition. This is why throughout my public life, I have pursued policies, especially through digitalization, to check corruption in places like the ports, the DVLA, the NHIS, the Passport Office, and the Controller and Accountant General Department. So I have a solid track record in fighting corruption, and I have earned a reputation for doing so. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most potent weapons against corruption is transparency. Many corrupt activities are cash-based. Apart from the obvious economic benefits of moving in the direction of a cashless society, the literature does indicate that the more electronic payments are used in transactions as opposed to cash, the more there is traceability and therefore the less the corruption. I would like to bring Ghana close to a cashless economy in the shortest possible time. So far, the Bank of Ghana has made a lot of progress in this direction by putting in place a lot of the systems and infrastructure required. These include mobile money interoperability, merchant interoperability, the universal QR code system, GH-Link, debit cards, eSwitch, and Ghana Pay. We have put in place the necessary infrastructure for Ghana to go cashless. Recently, the Bank of Ghana has completed a pilot of a digital version of the Ghana cedi in Seshwiwi or so. This is known as the Central Bank Digital Currency, or the ECD. The ECD is designed to work online and offline and will be launched by the Bank of Ghana in due course. In my humble opinion, the ECD, with appropriate privacy protections, will be the ultimate weapon in our fight against corruption, because it will provide transparency, reduce the risk of fraud, robbery, tax avoidance, and money laundering, since it will be easy to track the movement of money and identify suspicious activity. The ECD will quicken the pace of Ghana's move towards a cashless or near cashless society. Ladies and gentlemen, to move towards a cashless economy, however, we have to encourage the population to use electronic channels of payment. To accomplish this, under my administration, there will be no taxes on digital payments. The e-levy will therefore be abolished. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Furthermore, to enhance transparency, I will cause to be published online details of all public contracts for public scrutiny. Ladies and gentlemen, in advanced economies, workers are able to easily access credit to purchase basic items such as televisions, cars, and houses. They are able to do so because the credit system works and it is supported by individualized credit scoring by credit rating agencies. In Ghana, a credit system is yet to develop, and therefore life is harder for workers. It is my goal to make it easier and cheaper to access credit by leveraging on our data and systems, such as the Ghana Card, Ghana Post GPS, mobile money interoperability, DVLA, GRA, the bank accounts, and all those to build an efficient credit system and a mortgage market in Ghana underpinned by individualized credit scoring and the digitalization of land titling and transfer. We look forward to starting individualized credit scoring in Ghana this year, and will make it easier for Ghanaians to access credit at lower interest rates. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that as when it comes to a national development plan, I believe we can find broad contours of a national development plan for which we can find consensus in areas such as education, health, industrialization, environment, and so on. I will support a consensus national development plan. Specifically, I will propose to amend Article 87 of the 1992 Constitution, as well as the NDPC Act, Act 479, to mandate political party manifestos and consequently economic and social policies of governments, as well as budgets, to be aligned to the agreed upon broad contours in specific sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, the current constitution was designed mainly for political stability, and it has achieved that. We need to amend it with the help of Parliament to align it more for national development. In that context, I am committed to the process to amend the 1992 Constitution through extensive public consultation with key emphasis on issues such as ex gratia, the rights of dual citizens, elections of MMDCs to deepen decentralization, empowering institutions while reducing the power of the president. Ladies and gentlemen, I want a Ghana where we place an emphasis on values and doing the right things, with the human factor playing its appropriate role in curbing corruption, bribery, crime, dishonesty, and so on. A culture of governance founded on ethical values, transparency, professionalism, and meritocracy to create a modern government machinery that exhibits more intensity and determination to impose order, discipline, and enforce compliance of the rules and regulations that are in place. In this regard, we will have a strong partnership between government and faith-based organizations. The contribution of faith-based organizations, for example, the Catholic Bishops' Conference, the Christian Council, Pentecostal Council, and the Muslim Council, in areas such as education, health, infrastructure, youth development, and so on, is very significant and complements government's efforts. And so we are going to have them benefit from many of the incentives that we offer to some of our external development partners. Ladies and gentlemen, I will also have a major focus on policies, tax, and other incentives to increase private and public investment in tourism, the creative arts, and sports. More jobs for more jobs creation. We will build on the year of return, beyond the return, and December in Ghana. We will also introduce initiatives such as digital streaming platforms for our artists and tax incentives to make tourism and creative arts a growth pole. Tax incentives will also be provided for film producers and musicians. To boost tourism and job creation, my government will implement an e-visa policy for all international visitors to Ghana to enable visas to be obtained in minutes, subject to security and criminal checks. Ladies and gentlemen, sports is a multi-million-dollar industry, an enabler for the youth. However, we have not realized our full sports potential, and we cannot maximize the full potential of Ghana sports with the same funding model we have operated since independence. My government will therefore prioritize the creation of incentives for corporate sponsorship as a sustainable module of financing sports development and promotion of our national teams, including football, athletics, boxing at all levels. This will take the financial pressure off government and also enable government to redirect more support to other sports disciplines. My government, as part of a broad sports development mission, will establish the Ghana Sports Secretariat, which will be an agency under the ministry, responsible for sports in collaboration with other, such as the Ghana Education Service and sports federations. My government will also seek school-level collaboration with international sports bodies like the NBA and the NFL to make Ghana a hub for these emerging sports in Africa, to create more opportunities for our young people. Ladies and gentlemen, we have already tried this with the NFL, the governing body for American football, which agreed to host in Ghana in 2022 the first which agreed to host in Ghana in 2022 the first ever NFL flag football in Africa after my engagement with them. This paved the way for 10 young Ghanaians to be selected to the United States to represent Africa in the global NFL tournament last year. Another set of young Ghanaians who were picked after the second NFL Africa football was also held in Ghana last year are currently in the United States to represent Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to build a nation that cares for the interests of the poor and the vulnerable, like persons with disabilities, the aged, street kids, lepers, cerebral palsy patients, and so on, in collaboration with faith-based institutions and the private sector. My government will also focus on special needs. To start with, we will recruit special needs teachers, train teachers on how to work with special needs students. We will also with occupational therapy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have secured visa-free travel to a growing list of countries for the benefit of our citizens. So far, Ghana has about 4 for Ghanaians to obtain passports. Under my government, any Ghana card holder will only have to pay a fee for a passport. You won't have to apply for a passport when you hold a Ghana card. If you are a holder,
we were invited to this program, and then I think it's laudable the idea we are trying to bring in more on what and then we think
powerful. It is because
the support any candidate who is coming to help us in the
if you want, I can. Just your office.
So, if you for your passport and pay for it, bring it to your home using your digital address. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bawumia administration will also prioritize the full implementation of the Affirmative Action Act, as should hopefully have been passed by January 2025. Under my government, free senior high school education will continue, and we will
My name is Abdurrahim, and
medical.
Look at the speech of the Vice President of Ghana, and we are hoping most of the
these are just
visible, and it's something that is good.
Ideas
comes to power.
Covered every sector.
It's possible that whatever they say as politicians is something that should come to pass. Mostly we situations, but then sometimes we do not get some of the things when power is given to them. And we are hoping that most of the things that are said are positive and they are good things. And we are hoping that until the Lord is given to him, he is able to deliver as he has said. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, so far I have spoken about the economy, the contribution, my vision, my in conclusion, the choice God in is between Vice President Bawumia and former President Mahamudu. It is between them.
I have two other persons.
We have to ask ourselves a number of questions. If you want someone you can trust to innovative and impactful ideas,
Ok, c'est bon, non? Test micro test.
To fight corruption, then your choice is better. And if you want someone you can trust to work hard and tirelessly and selflessly for Ghana, it is
Micro test, micro test,
who has a proven record to create jobs for
Ok, pas de souci. Micro marche, hein?
a man or woman. In this case, we are to care of the poor, disabled, vulnerable. It is Dr. Bawumia. If you are looking for the man who has the vision and commitment to prepare Ghana for the fourth industrial revolution, then it is Dr. Bawumia. If you are looking for the man who is to protecting and using our benefit of all, it is Dr. Bawumia. Who will be more accountable to Ghanaians? A one-term president like my competitor, person who can look to the Bawumia. Who can you trust to protect and improve three senior high? It is Dr. Bawumia. Who do we trust to improve the national health scheme and improve the quality of health care in Ghana? It is Dr. Bawumia, who has demonstrated a commitment to the development of deprived communities. It is Dr. Bawumia. Gentlemen, many people Ghana since independence. President Leonardo Dankwa of a vice president, perhaps make a mark. I would let you be the judge of that. That I have never been president of this country before. In my for the first time to ask a precious vote to serve you in all humility. I would like you to give me the opportunity to become one of the most important presidents in Ghana's history. that should put us on the right path and transform our economy. I know that many of us might be tempted to say that we have had many bright and even brave ideas before, and that will be true. Many will say the problem we have of ideas, but implementation. Many will say the problem is. I offer only what has guided me throughout my life: hard work, personal integrity, accountability, and selfless leadership. I am determined to make a difference. And with you, with honesty and integrity, with wisdom and decisiveness, as to what I want to do from day one if you make me president. I will not ask for a honeymoon to cool off and think about what to do. I am prepared and ready to work. Give me the opportunity. You know what I stand for. You know my vision about your mission. I believe in the ingenuity of the Ghanaian. Together, in building a progressive society of possibility, open opportunities, and a shared prosperity. Born or poor, from the north, from the south, born Christian or Muslim, a boy or a girl, with support, God's guidance, we can win together. It is possible. Thank you for it. God bless you and God bless our homeland, Ghana.
A big round of applause for His Excellency and the leader of the new Patriotic Party, Mrs. Bawumia. Please join your husband on stage as we acknowledge the responses from the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
Sometimes you come home. Last year was a problem. This year,
wave your flags, wave your flags, wave your flags, wave your flags. It is. It is. It is. Let's give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And as they resume their seats, please let's all resume our seats. Wherever we may be, we are almost at the end of the event.
Bawumia's address on Ghana's next chapter. Expectations are high for bold solutions and a visionary roadmap for the future. People across the country are looking forward to the speech. Let's get on the street and find out.
My expectation as a student is that we need more jobs in the country, because as students, there are a lot of unemployment in the country, and also there's a lot of brain drains in the country whereby students are traveling to seek greener pastures elsewhere. elsewhere. And it doesn't really help boost or improve the economy of Ghana.
Ahead of Dr. Bawumia's speech on Wednesday, I'm expecting to see bold solutions. It's been 32 years of Ghana's for democracy, and we have not really seen any bold solutions.
Me expect to say, Taisi no ebe ba fun. Na yesu ye koja so a. Na yesu ye nyama tonu. Na eba maye. Na aditonu yesu ya anya kakra ewo so. Oma life no enye comfortable maye. Ema ye nkrofo ene ye adwuma kitinkiti no otumi ekosro esumaye yesu.
Je me pesa amete free Dr. Bawumia na no say adwuma a one na na do adwuma pa o maye no obeto aso nti say free education law require ene no mansu no omtwetwe any light eno na minya ne mmom di nya me pa o makoma mu ne say obeka de oba ono so beye ye mpesa obeye promise de obetumi ayama yen no omeka say na beye Ghana for ye nyina so ye ne beje.
Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, when you were capital free, Keponga free, Kemisi free, Koni Kenyachi be price now. Koni why Nutumo, if you easy hour. Koni was a color be where among enough easy hour. And today I want to go to Yalamuyan, Jifila Zampa, Ghana economy Apollo, Catherine Yo drivers 3 years. Apollo, Catherine Yo drivers 3 years. We Apollo design to come up from Dama Pablo. And because they couldn't tell them what they feel to Mawane. Which are oily. They already feel them for come on to make small died of boogie. In Jensen, I take a little too small, passengers, young was like an example, charging my charge 9 years on the pump.
The government has for the last few years aggressively put in place measures to make possible the Vice President's digitization drive.
There are certain things that ought to be